I'm Lauren, a practitioner here at Well Mind and Body Psychology with a real passion for all things mindfulness and meditation. Both of these things are integral parts of my day that help me feel more centered, grounded, and present. They also allow me to respond more flexibly to challenges that might come my way. In this video, I will be talking to you about some common challenges when trying to meditate, such as my mind is too busy or I don't have the time, and also provide you with some tips to be more mindful. If you find this video helpful, please remember to subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up. Let's get to it. I guess it might be helpful to start off by saying that meditation has not always been an easy practice for me, and some days it is really hard. But there are some things that I've learnt both on my personal journey and that I teach to my clients that can be really helpful for easing the process and getting more in tune with the present moment. Now, I'd like to start by prefacing that mindfulness and meditation are actually two different related things that are often used interchangeably. Generally speaking, mindfulness is about becoming present to your inner or outer experience without judgment. So this can be done formally through perhaps taking 10 minutes out of your day to sit and be mindful, but it can also be done informally. So that might look like taking a mindful sip of coffee or having a mindful conversation with a beloved. It's more about completing tasks in your everyday life with mindfulness. Meditation, however, by definition, is a more formal practice in which we are training our minds to focus our attention on something specific. Sometimes the focal point of meditation may be something that we are experiencing in the present moment. We might choose, for example, to focus our attention on the sensations of breathing. So for example, perhaps we can take a few mindful breaths together. Let's take 3 deep breaths in and out and be aware of the sensation of our breath coming in and out of our body. So I might choose to focus on the sensation of the air coming in through my nose and out through my mouth, or on my belly rising and falling. Let's try it together. So in that practice, we formally attended to our breath and we were just being aware of the sensations. So we're not trying to get anywhere in particular or really make any changes, but we're just being aware. There are also meditations where we might make changes to the way that we're feeling. Perhaps we're using words or visualization to make us feel more calm or more confident. Is this mindfulness? We would say not. This kind of practice is usually taking us away from the reality of the present moment, which isn't a bad thing, but it just simply isn't mindfulness. So with that in mind, I'd like you to take the pressure off yourself in trying to be a certain way when you meditate, wearing a certain type of clothing, being in a particular position, doing a particular technique. I'm hoping that in speaking with you today, we can explore some of the challenges and tips and tricks for meditating that will help you either begin your practice or improve it. So some common challenges that I hear from people are, I just can't meditate, I fidget too much, or my mind is too noisy, it doesn't shut up, I don't have a quiet space, I don't have the time, or I simply just don't know where to start. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of the amount of time in your waking life where you have a constant inner dialogue. Maybe even take a moment now to just sit quietly and listen to that voice and notice how quickly thoughts automatically pop up. I'll try it with you now. My first thought that came to mind was that I hope that you don't think I'm silly for asking you to do this. So this is totally normal and it's automatic and often unconscious. So without mindfulness, we're actually unaware of that inner voice, chatting away, judging, naming, creating stories throughout the day. And oftentimes quietening that inner voice is one of the more challenging aspects of meditation that often leads people to give up on the practice altogether. However, I would invite you to consider that your brain is a muscle, and just like going to the gym, our brain needs time and practice to build strength to meditate. So I recommend that you start small and you start simple, but you're consistent. What do I mean by small? Well, if you have been living your whole life with that inner voice, chattering away, trying to stop those thoughts and focus your attention solely on your breath is going to be really challenging to start. So perhaps start with a 2-minute practice. Allow that strength to build. and this will allow you to set yourself up for success in your practice. Perhaps think about the time of day that might be most simple and easy for you to do that. Maybe first thing in the morning while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or perhaps just before bed to increase relaxation. What do I mean by simple? Meditation practices are definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing, so you can get really creative to see what feels right for you. Meditation doesn't have to be you sitting in a cave in lotus position. It can be as simple as you sitting on a packed train on your commute to work with your headphones in and your eyes closed. It could also be perhaps you taking a walk from A to B and being mindful as you do so. You could take your lunch outside and eat mindfully beneath a tree. You could have a mindful conversation. We have plenty of guided meditations on our website to get you started, such as the body scan, which is a lovely practice to help you connect with your body. You could also check out apps such as Headspace or Smiling Mind. What do I mean by consistency? So you know there's not really a right or wrong way to meditate. Even when your mind is loud, your ability to notice and be aware of that shows that you're aware. And your next steps are simply to let go of that judgment and those words that have entered your mind and return to focus on the present moment. And in order to get better at this practice, it will be helpful to practice often, even if it's just for 2 minutes. Perhaps you could set a reminder on your phone. Some of those apps that I was mentioning earlier can help you with that, and they can also help you check in with the way that you're feeling throughout the day and keep you accountable. Some other tips for starting out your practice or improving your practice are being clear on your time frame. Have time set aside each day dedicated to meditation. This will make it easier for you to commit to the practice and build it into your routine. So for me, on waking, I meditate. That helps me remove distraction and sets me up really well for the day. Remember that each moment that you're mindful is better than none. So 5 minutes can be better than a 30-minute meditation if that means that for those minutes you are focused and aware. Another tip is removing distractions. So getting away from a screen is really helpful. If you are using an app, make sure that your phone's on Do Not Disturb as you practice. Perhaps have conversations with people that you're living with about times in which you might need the house to be a little bit more quiet. Or if that's not within your power, you could maybe take your meditation outside to a park, even to your car, wherever you think that would help you reduce noise and distraction. Another point to make is the difference between awareness and concentration. Awareness isn't something that people are necessarily more skilled at. It's something that grows organically over time given the right conditions. So every time that you notice yourself drift off in thought and are able to pull yourself back, that's awareness. It's skillful. Awareness is open and takes everything in, whereas concentration implies more sustained focus on one particular thing. So for example, awareness is like listening to a song, while concentration is listening to the words without paying much attention to the composition. We practice awareness by allowing everything to be simply as it is, including our thoughts and feelings. We let everything come into our awareness and we notice when things have become fixated. Final thoughts are to remember that there is no right or wrong way to meditate. As long as you continually return your focus to the present moment each time your attention drifts, you are doing just fine. Your mind may still like to make up rules about what you should be doing, or maybe it's telling you that you're a bad meditator, but your only job to do when your mind is doing that is to return your attention to your body or your breath. Getting lost, finding your way back, getting lost and finding your way back is the dance that you will learn through meditation. I hope that you found this video informative and that it's inspired you to give meditation a go.